Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate.
What's up, guys? Happy 2023. This is the Til You Collapse Podcast. I am Brian. I'm your host. And this is our first podcast of the new year. We were wanting to record one for a few weeks, right, Memo?
Mm-hmm.
But what happened?
Just didn't have time. We were busy with the release.
Busy as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Good things. You know, podcasts are an amazing tool, you know, to get your name out there, to teach, inspire, to motivate. Some podcasts bring in money, you know, and some podcasts are financially like a good move. As far as us, we run multiple businesses here. So the podcast is a passion project of mine. Hopefully one day it does bring in money, but as of right now, it doesn't. So we have to put your focus towards what brings the best ROI, which is the businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just real quick, in case you guys forgot, sharing this podcast, reviewing this podcast, subscribing to this podcast, that's all I ask. This is my time. If you get something from it, please let someone know. Also, something I don't usually do, but I'm going to start doing it. I don't know why I don't. My main company is Til You Collapse Apparel. Til You Collapse. Men's apparel, women's apparel. Check it out. Also, one of my other businesses, I'm a mentor, coach, fitness, business, mindset. And my third and final company, I'm in the mushroom industry. So if you have questions, let me know. But yeah, that's just, you know, it's a new year. It's a new year, man. I'm fucking, you know, for me, not much has changed, right, Memo?
What you mean? New year, new you. What you mean? Right? I thought that's what it's all about.
Don't get me going to the new year, new me shit, baby. And here's the thing. I made a video about it, you know. I like the energy and I like the idea behind it. You know, there's a lot of energy in the gyms, a lot of people with goals, a lot of people inspired, a lot of people motivated. I like that. That's the right idea. But the problem is it's like a flash in the pan. It happens really quick. It's gone as fast as it starts. And what I'm trying to tell people is you have the right idea, but you have the wrong mindset behind it, if that makes sense. You know, you think that you're going to snap your fingers and you're all of a sudden going to go from one habit, one thing you've been doing for years, months, however long you've been doing it, and all of a sudden everything's going to change. And nothing's going to change until you change it. But the problem is if it's not a habit, if it's not something you're used to doing, if it's not something you build up, this shit takes time. I always tell you guys stuff takes time. It's taken me 10 years to build a business to this point. It's taken me 27 years to build a physique to this point. None of that's quick. None of that's fast. None of that's easy. I know that's what we all want. But I'm here to tell you, if you're thinking that all of a sudden you're going to, and here's the mindset behind it and why these people don't succeed and why they don't win, is they literally, up until the last day, they wait. Like, they're like, it'll be December 31st, and they'll be like, their goal is to lose 30 pounds. December 31st, they'll be sitting there eating a large pizza, drinking a bunch of beer, and that's okay because it doesn't start till tomorrow. Well, motherfucker, the reason that you're eating that shit, that has nothing to do with your goal. So you're thinking that just once that day flips over and that day passes, then everything's going to be okay? Well, what about the day before? What about the week before? Don't you see how that mindset doesn't work? And that's why it never wins, because those people always procrastinate. They always find a reason why. So please, I like that you're setting goals. I like that, you know, there's a new year. You can be excited. You can be rejuvenated. But I always say, new year, same me. And the thing is it takes a while to build those habits, discipline, consistency, work ethic, discipline. The shit that works with business and fitness, because those are usually the main goals of New Year's, is fitness goals and business goals. The biggest one is fitness. Those habits that cause you to succeed are things that take time. You're going to have to do that for 6 months to a year before it really becomes something a habit and something you actually enjoy doing, and something that you do consistently. And how does that happen? It's sticking to the plan and it's getting those results. Because when you feel better and you look better and you start losing 5 pounds and you start getting stronger, then you're like, oh, fuck, there's something to this. But it takes time to get there. And when you think it's going to be quick and it's not quick, you quit just as soon as you start. And this new year, Memo, I know you got some. And here's the thing. You should set goals every new year. It's nice to set goals. You want to set targets. You want to set things to shoot for. But that's not new year, new me. That's new year, new goals. That's a different, I'm the same motherfucker that's setting goals, killing goals, crushing goals. I'm not changed. But when you're thinking you're going to turn into a new you, always going to be a new you. Why do you need to be a new you? Why don't you build yourself up to be such a badass motherfucker that you don't want to change? Because you're constantly killing, you're constantly crushing. Why would you want to change? Right? So what kind of goals you got?
My goals. Oh, interesting. I never thought about that yet.
This motherfucker. I preach all the time. I ask you, and I did ask you. I've asked you your goals.
I know. I know.
You have a couple. Don't get all shy on the mic.
I do. My biggest one is actually competing for the first time in men's physique.
That's a fitness goal.
So that's probably my biggest goal out of everything, because that obviously takes the most dedication and time and effort.
For sure.
And on top of that as well, just working here.
Yeah.
Just being here and elevating more, just doing more, taking more responsibilities, just getting bigger and growing.
I like that.
That's the biggest thing.
Man, there's nothing wrong with that. And see that he has 2 goals. And here's another thing. I feel like you guys, a lot of people set too many goals. They go in too many directions. You're running this way, that way, this way. And it gets overwhelming when you set fucking 20 goals in a year. This man right here has 2 main goals.
2 big goals, though.
2 big goals.
A lot of steps in each goal.
Yeah, and I love that. The first one is compete, get on stage, get in the shape of his life, as leaner than he's ever been, most muscle than he's ever been. It's going to take months of dedication, discipline, consistency.
Money, food, time,
everything.
effort, everything.
Right?
Yep.
And another thing is continue to work here, grow this company, grow his position, evolve the brand. That's a big responsibility too. But I love that it's just 2. Because that's not confusing. You can focus on that.
Straight
you
to
can
the point.
All into that, So I hope that everyone listening to this, you guys have a list of goals this year. And like I said, it can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 5. But my recommendation is really think of where you're at. Think of during this year, what can you achieve? Because you want to set goals also that are achievable. It's nice to have huge, crazy, long-term goals. I have those. You should have those. But those aren't attainable within a year's time. So set goals that are attainable this year. Write them down. Break them down. Break them down to the ridiculous. So what does that mean? My goal is to make $1 million this year. Okay, that's great. You want to make $1 million? How much is that a month? How much is that a week? How much is that a day? How much is that a motherfucking hour? What product are you selling? How many of that products do you have to sell an hour? Do you have to sell a day? Do you have to sell a month? Do you have to sell a year? So break it down to the ridiculous. You have to know the numbers. Sales 101. You have to know the numbers so you shoot for that target. It's also much more attainable when you break any goal down to a smaller number. It's much more realistic. It's much more entertainable. I know if I want to make $1 million, say I got to sell $100 an hour. You're hustling $100 an hour every hour until you reach that goal. And that's a lot more attainable than $1 million fucking dollars. So break it down and know your goal. Another thing I talked about during this new year, me in this fitness game for 27 years, this is my main passion that drives everything, is the gyms right now. The gyms right now are fucking crazy. There's a lot of new people in there. A lot of people that don't know what the fuck they're doing, frankly. And I'm kudos to them. Kudos to them, because the gym, you're out of shape. You're fat. You don't feel good. You're what's the fucking word for it? Insecure. Sorry, I had an old man brain fart. You're insecure. It's hard to go in a place where a lot of people are looking good, top shape, knowing what they're doing. That shit's hard. And you know how I know? I've been there. I've been the motherfucking fat guy in a gym wearing big clothes. Been uncomfortable. I've lived that. I know how that feels. So what I'm preaching to you guys is please have some patience and some grace and some kindness to these people, because you know what? They're trying. And that was you one day. Maybe not if you're a genetic freak and you were born with a fucking six-packs. There's some of you guys out there, and hey, more power to you. You were given the lottery of genetics. You made it. But most of us, we were at some point when we start our fitness journey, we were not in the best place. That's why we started the fitness journey. We've worked for years to get to the place we're at. But don't forget Don't ever forget where you came from. Don't forget that feeling, because, you know, now that you're in fucking top shape, you've been working out for 10 years, you look amazing. Don't forget that person the first year. And the thing, what I'm telling you is your interaction, the way you look at someone, your body language, the way you talk to them, the way you act can make them feel like shit. They already feel like shit trying to be better. Why don't we help them feel better? Be kind to them. If you see someone doing something wrong, correct them. Don't make fun of them. Make the gym a happy place for them, because you know what? You want them to stay. You want them to reach their goals. Your interaction can make them change their life and reach their goals, or literally say, fuck this. This is what I expect of this place. I'm never coming back. Literally. So please, I empower you. Do that for me. Do that for yourself. Do that for them. Memo knows what I'm talking about. I've seen his before pictures.
Yes, I actually got like this firsthand experience yesterday with the New Year shit with all the people in my packed ass gym. It was like actually fucking filled yesterday. And I kid you not, there was probably like 50 new people in there that I didn't know, which I'd never seen in there before. And now they're all staring at me because they're all new. I'm a bigger guy lifting the heaviest weight in there right now. Yeah. And I actually seen them like, I had two guys that come up and ask me for help that were brand new and I had no idea what the fuck they were doing. But then there's the opposite of the spectrum where there's like a fucking posse of 7 fucking 18-year-old dudes out of one fucking Smith machine, an hour and a half on the fucking machine, taking up time when you know it's part of our workout.
Well, you know what? That's the other end of the spectrum. That's the other, and you know, and you, as you know, when you're when you're fit in the gym, when you walk around like you're a fucking boss and you handle the weight and people watch you, they'll come up and ask you. There's responsibility that comes with that. Obviously, you have good etiquette, you uphold yourself in the best way. But those kids, as well as being like the fucking top G in the gym, right? There's responsibility to teach those motherfuckers. Like, I know you're not that much older. Like, it's different me coming up as daddy at 40 years old or 18 years old, but you're 24, so you're kind of almost the same age. So for you, it's a little different situation. But like for me, I would have gone up to him and fucking just educated them. Be like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Are you guys working out? Are you guys talking? Because if you're just hanging out, you're not going to get to the goals you want to get to.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd ask them, what are your goals? Yeah. Oh, you want to gain muscle? You're not going to gain muscle hanging out at the Smith machine talking. Let's get to work. Like, you know what I mean? Kick their ass a little bit.
It'll be weird if like a 24-year-old came to them and asked me, hey, what's your fucking goals? But then a 40-year-old
my ass walks up in a different situation. But what I'm saying is, whichever way you can align with them, you know, doesn't really matter the age. Yeah.
They're all watching too while I was hitting the weights. They're all watching the entire time as well.
Of course, yeah. So they're 18. There's a big difference between 18 and 24, especially if you've been lifting for 4 or 5 years. Hell yeah. Yeah. So that's what I want to talk about. Another thing I want to talk about is, I did this yesterday, and I've talked about it before, but I want to remind you guys again. With your brand, you need to have a mission and a message and a meaning behind your brand. It's something that's genuine, not something that's just fucking, general and something just to make the money and something you think's cool. Like with Til You Collapse and the meaning behind Til You Collapse, I used to really, and I'm going to call myself out. I tell you guys, you need to spread the message of your brand. You need your consumers, your customers, they need to feel connected. They need to feel part of a tribe. They need to feel part of something. And that's on you constantly spreading that message, talking that message ridiculously. Just like with my team here and with the team here, talking about the long-term goal, talking about the core values here constantly. I'm always talking about it with them and being an example of it for them. You have to be the same with your brand, with your consumers, through videos, through emails, through texts, through everything, because you're constantly getting an influx of new customers in. And a lot of times they may not know what the brand's about. And even as much as you think you're doing a good job or you think they know, they don't. Because for me, Til You Collapse, most of you guys listening to this know what the brand means, know what it stands for. It's a really powerful name that really means something that's rooted deep for anyone trying to shoot for any kind of goal in any avenue. That's what's so great about this brand, having that pride and that feeling when you wear the clothes because you know what it means. I used to preach that a lot more. And like I said, I'll own it. I'll call myself out because I'm accountable as fuck. I used to preach it a lot in my social media posts, in the company posts. I even had ads running all the time. Constant emails. I never really sent a text about it until yesterday. And this is the reason I'm telling you guys, because I want you guys to know. Text message marketing is the most powerful thing. Any brand, you need to start building up your text list ASAP. Get on a text platform, get pop-ups on your site, even run ads to build your text list. That's how important it is. If you have an email list, try to transition them over to text list. It's such a high, the percentage of engagement is like emails was 10 years ago. It's crazy. It's the place to be. And we have a pretty big email list, but it costs a good amount of money to send out the text. And typically with text, I had never tried this, being real with you, and I've never thought of it this way. With emails, I've sent out emails about listening to the podcast, sending out fitness tips, sending out stuff about the brand, what we mean, just more value, sending out value basically. And with the text, it's always been, oh, here's a promotion, here's a release, here's a promotion, here's a release. More like, that I'm asking them for something, right? As far as like, a sale or I have a new release, and that's fine. This is a business. That's what the list is for. But, and the reason why my mindset has always been like that with that is there's such emails, they don't cost you anything to send. Texts, they're pretty expensive. I mean, so I sent a text out yesterday. It was about $500 to send the text yesterday, $500 with no expectation of any ROI. I didn't even have a website on there. I wasn't selling anything. All I did is I let them know about this podcast. I wanted them to listen to kind of like the core episode, the origin episode, really telling about me and my story and the podcast, because I want my consumers to know me, the CEO. I want them to know my story. I want them to know what I'm about. I want them to hear me. And I want them to know what the brand means that they're wearing and they're supporting. And these are people that are already subscribed to my text list. So they've gone on my website, they purchased something, they have an email, they have a text. So you would assume a lot of them knew about me and the origin story and what the brand means. My customer list, my customer retention rate is crazy. My return customer rate is 75%. That's out of this world. That attests to my customer service, my product quality, and what the brand stands for. But you would assume if they're on that text list, they know who I am and they know what the brand stands for. Well, I sent this text out. Hey, this is Brian, CEO. Please listen to the podcast. I want you to know about me and my brand. Leave a review, offer something. I'm giving out some gift cards if you leave a review and listen. Because you know what? Nowadays, people a lot of times don't do anything without incentive. So sweeten it up and offer an incentive if you do this. I got so many fucking positive responses. And the little end of my text message said, hey, check me out on hit me up on Instagram. I left my Instagram in the text. Let me know what you think. Because that way, I want these people following my Instagram. I can get more followers, people that know the owner of the brand. They feel more connected to your brand. They're going to be more loyal to you and the brand. So there's a reason for all of this, right? And I sent it out, and crazy the response. Like I got hundreds of DMs on my personal Instagram, people that got that. And just the things they said, the connections they said, them aligning with me, them aligning with the brand. And the funny thing is that text message ended up bringing in about $900 in revenue. So that wasn't the point. There was not even any sale, any ask, anything. It cost $500. So not only did I not even want or try to make my money back, but that's the funny thing is when you give value and when you do things in life with no, I don't want to say selfish reason, but no reason behind them, the funny thing is they end up paying you back. So I know this is a business and I know we have to, times can be hard and we have to drive revenue and sell, but there's ways to do it. And like I said, make sure your customer base knows about your brand as something that you preach all the time. And as much as you have done in the past, because I can say I did it a lot more in the past and I haven't so much recently. And now I'm going full force again because, you can't let off the gas and you have to keep doing it, because if it's something you live and you breathe and you believe, then why stop? Because like I said, even though these people were on my text list, they didn't know, but the response was amazing. Ended up making our money back and then some. There's no negatives behind it. So do it. Do it, please. Grow your text list and share your mission like crazy. And another thing I want to tell you guys, a lot of you guys are saying you try everything. You're trying everything. You want to grow your business. You want to grow your personal brand. But you're lucky if you post once a week. And I'm here to fucking tell you, look at me and listen to this. If you're not posting every single day on every single platform, you're not doing enough. You're not doing everything you can. And I hear so many of you saying, I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing so much. I'm doing it all. I coach a lot of people, mentor a lot of people. I'm doing all I can. All these social media channels are free. Don't even think about paid advertising. Don't even think about influencers. Don't even think about any of that until you get your shit down and your company is posting pretty much every day on every platform and you're personally posting every day on every platform. Bottom line, you say you're doing it, but you're not doing that, and that's something that's free. There's no excuse behind it. No excuse. Really, that's all I want to talk about today. It's a clear message. I know you're going to get something from it. Play it. Think about it. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you fucking crush this year. But you're only going to crush this year if you put in the work, if you're disciplined, if you're consistent, if when you think you want to stop, you don't stop. Because you know what? These next couple of years are going to separate a lot of us. And you're going to have to become one hard individual. Because there's a lot of people that quit when it's hard. There's a lot of people quit when they don't want to do something. I'm telling you, every single day I do multiple things that I do not want to do at all, that I hate doing. It's the last thing I want to do. Every single day at my quote unquote level, I'm not really shit. I'm 27 years into fitness. I'm 12 years into business. And there's every single day I do shit that I do not want to do. I still work 7:45 to 7 p.m. I still work out 2 hours a day, 1 to 2 cardio sessions, 1 weight session. This shit is not easy. What you see from my life is very hard to upkeep. But you know what? I love that shit. And you'll learn to love the shit because when you do things that you didn't think you could do and you get results that you didn't think you could get, that's an amazing feeling and it's very powerful and it makes you want to do more and then you do more and you keep doing that and it's just a never-ending cycle. But the problem is getting those first results and keeping it rolling. I hope you guys got something from this. Kill your year. We're out.
Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do.